Hello, welcome everybody to Spitball Cinema. This is a special edition. Um,
It's our,
What?
sec-
What
it's our
is-
it's our second one or like
Hey.
third, and it's special.
well, why can't they
already.
get a special edition
What's
already?
with Wolfman Jack over here? Every time he starts to do it, he goes,
Spitman
Spitball Cinema. What the hell?
That's our
All right,
it's our
Spitball Cinema,
Halloween
you see?
episode.
All right.
Halloween, damn
Halloween.
it!
There you go.
Talk about it. What's
I'm a big fan of the Great Pumpkin.
You look like a great pumpkin. You know that?
Well, I'd like to argue, but I can't.
All right. So this is going to be our Halloween
episode? Yeah,
Yeah.
special edition.
special
Hello.
episode, whatever.
Yeah, thank you for coming back and spending some time with us. And
Here he goes again with that voice.
He's sucking up to people. We don't even have people that
it's
he's
like-
sucking up to him.
Wolfman Jack, Casey Kasem.
hey,
all in
we
one.
got a lot of people I could suck. Wait a minute, what?
What the hell's
I
with
swear,
him?
you two. Oh, where's your Tylenol? All right. So this is Halloween time,
Yeah.
and
Hey, Halloween is scary movie time.
let's before we go back to in the past, what do you guys watch today? A special movie or a TV episode that gets you in the mood, ready for Halloween?
That's a pretty good question. Actually, I don't know. I always line up a kind of like a whole kind of list of things. It just kind of depends what I'm in the mood for. Because, like,
I like
for me,
that marathon kind of like.
oh yeah, once October hits, it's on. Like just
October's the key. Once
well,
the
yeah, as soon as you hit October, the cool air.
Yeah,
and
because all the streaming services start putting out, Halloween stuff all through
That's true.
the whole month.
yeah, the one that happens every year. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Oh, I love that movie.
But you know what? I
Disney.
never see that on the streaming services. Though.
That's why you got to buy physical media, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got that.
Okay.
But something
That's a
Wicked
great.
This Way Comes. It's autumn. You get all the just those autumn kind of vibes, and it's
Yeah,
just a
when you
great
watch it.
spooky movie,
What's that?
especially when you're
what's
younger.
that saying they do in that movie that you know it, don't you? The guy quotes it by the. Well, how's
Oh
it go?
yeah, well no, it's by the pricking of my thumbs. Something
Wicked this
This
way
way
comes.
comes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And
That's,
then when they're in the library,
Yeah.
and it's like he's dueling with words with the devil, and it's just so good.
what's the devil? What do they call the devil in that?
Dark.
Dark.
It's just Mr. Dark.
Yeah.
Mr. Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played by
And
Jonathan Price.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jonathan Price was
So
so
good in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. He
Just
was.
because he was
He kind of looked like Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, he did actually.
a
He did,
thin
actually.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah.
But no, he just had that. He had that presence and that delivery and just the way he did everything. And he just had that smoldering anger that, like, just behind the eyes kind
Yeah.
of thing that just made him so good in that role. And, because I saw the movie first and then I went back and read the book. And the book is excellent. I mean, it really, really is. And it kind of explains some of the things that the movie kind of
Didn't
skips
touch on.
over, because it's not like back then you didn't get director's cuts. You just got what was done. And you could see where this storyline was. Oh, this was a different storyline here. But
Oh,
it just goes
each
into a
person
little
that
more,
walked into the Wall of Mirrors.
right. You get a little more in depth. You learned a little bit more about the woman with the red ring. The one that was in the ice, and then later on you see her with the veil and everything else. Learn a little bit more kind of about her. But still, that movie was just so good, and it gave you the creepy scares.
Oh,
Like with the spiders, circling
Didn't it-
around the bed.
Didn't it like how can I put this? Didn't they always like cater to the person's weaknesses or something? That's how he manipulated
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it was always
Because the one guy didn't have a leg.
Well, James,
right. He
that's
wanted, to, he
James
wanted to play
Stacey.
sports again.
That's James
right.
Stacey. He didn't have an arm or a
Right.
leg.
Or, yeah, you're right.
And he
Yeah.
that really did happen to him because he got hurt in that motorcycle accident. He was going to be a big famous star. Well, he was in the '60s and stuff.
Man.
He was featured in.
Was that the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Yes,
guy?
yes.
Because he got in trouble with underage.
Well, eventually,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, but he got.
See, that makes the movie even more creepy.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Because once upon a time in Hollywood, it showed him at the end of it getting on a motorcycle and driving off. And, well, that's how.
That was the Justified guy's
yeah,
character, right?
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the same guy who played in something Wicked This
This
Way
Way
Comes.
Comes.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah, he was married to Kim Darby from True Grit at one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
right.
But
Yeah.
anyway.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
no,
The
that,
more you
but
know.
that was just one of those movies that was scary. It was
Yeah.
good. You could relate to it even when you were younger, like 14, 15, 13. You
Well,
know,
plus,
it's something I
you
could
can
show one
watch-
of my kids.
Yeah, you
know,
can sit there
and
with
they-
the family and all get freaked
Well,
out.
and
Yeah,
let's face it. Carnivals are creepy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Carnivals are creepy.
Yeah, when they come to town, they're creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they just are, and nothing's
There's
scarier
Than a carny.
than a carny.
Yeah.
And a carny from Carney coming.
But no, they are
Okay.
because you're afraid you get on those rides and you're afraid that they're gonna like.
But that's part of the excitement.
Yeah,
You know, and
whether
it's,
you're
it's
gonna
that,
make it or
We're
not.
all
Yeah,
freaks.
it's that temptation part, you know. But at the same time, that movie had a really neat father-son dynamic, you know, because you had the one kid whose father ran off.
Ran off.
You know, the other
yeah.
one whose father was a little detached because of something that had happened in the past. You know,
Well, wasn't
and
Jason-
it just really builds on those that father-son
Yeah, that was the
relationship.
Jason
Robards, what?
Jason Robards.
Was he
yeah.
a librarian in that?
Yeah, he was a local librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how he knew, you know, because he remembered reading about the Autumn people who would come
Right.
through.
Oh my
And so he
gosh,
was
yeah.
kind of like,
When
almost
he
like
was
the
a-
history of the town, you know, he
Well,
just knew all the
Wasn't
things.
he there when they first came through when he was a kid?
Yeah.
Didn't they say something about
Yeah,
he was
he
a kid?
remembered.
That's
He
right.
remembered,
and he turned
he
away.
remembered
Right, Mr. Dark actually
Mr. Dark.
remembered his
Exactly.
the things that he desired and wanted
Right.
and thought
God,
about.
that's such a good.
Man, that's
one.
giving me
Yeah.
chills right now. Just
Yeah.
talking about it.
Oh, it's just so good.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, it's a movie that was made in the '80s, right?
I think so, but it was a Disney production.
Yeah, it was a Disney production.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Something Wicked This Way Comes. It never got released on Blu-ray. It got released on DVD. But I don't think it's on any streaming services. Maybe Disney. You can check Disney Plus,
Disney
I
Plus
guess.
might, I'm not sure.
But
But yeah, just such a great movie.
I
But
mean-
but it's one of those that always hits my Halloween list. You know, that's a must do.
okay, I'll go next. Evil Dead, of course.
Oh yeah.
I just the more I watch it, the more I love it. I mean, for what those guys did, for the littlest money that they had, I think they had to take a break from shooting because they had to go and like
Go back to work.
Go back to work to get money because they couldn't get too many investors in it to keep it going. But plus, you and I think did Scott go with us to see the musical?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Evil Dead the musical?
Yeah, and
Wait,
Lisa.
what a great
stage
Lisa
play.
went with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
sorry when the songs in
Oh,
that
they're catchy
in
as
Evil,
hell.
Evil Dead the musical. It's like you take the B-est of B movies.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes a sensation. They do all the extra. You know, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, which is still like probably one of the classics.
It's on my
Best,
list too.
one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
With some of the best quotes. You know, in fact, I had a friend of mine who. That was like his lead-in line for like, and he wound up marrying the gal, but it was like, "Give me some sugar, baby," was like his thing.
Oh,
then
that's dope.
And then he was terrified because she'd never seen the movie, so he kept steering her away from it because she didn't want he didn't want her
He didn't
to
wanna
know
get
that he
the-
had quoted a
Yeah, she get the turnaround of like,
a
so that's
cheesy
where you got it,
one-liner."
Mister Fancy Pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Army of Darkness is great. And you know what I really liked was Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah, the TV show.
The TV series that they did.
Brilliant.
That was excellent. I mean, it was really, really
I
good.
love the opening scene in that. In that.
When they're,
I'm getting tired.
Oh god.
Yeah.
they're playing that Deep
All right,
Purple
yeah, that's
song.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when he
The
drives
scene where he hooks up with the barbituate, the bar lady.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wait, remember when he pulls into the parking lot? He like comes in and does the skid and backs up into the one spot. You know, all
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, just and you know where he got that from? You know how he learned to do that? From William Shatner.
What?
William Shatner. He said he always loved how William Shatner would drive those cars in T.J. Hooker. So he called him up, and he when they were going to do that scene, he said, "How did you end up doing that?" And so William Shatner explained to him how to do it, and that's how he did it.
Oh, that's
where that came.
That
That's
is
where that came.
Where did you even hear that?
I heard
that's
him.
awesome.
I heard him talking about it in Bruce Campbell in an interview when he was making that TV show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. That,
See,
So, yeah,
Star
anything
Trek
Evil Dead.
even affects Evil Dead.
okay.
Oh yeah. Hey, Shatner can get anything.
I'm William Shatner. I can score anything.
That's one of the best lines for a movie. That's from what was it?
It was
Fans. It's
yeah, the Fanboys.
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 Yeah, Fanboys.
Oh, and Something Wicked This Way was made in 1983.
1983.
Oh, man.
There you go. Good call.
I think I was in second or third grade. Probably second grade if it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was 13.
Probably in third.
Yeah, I was 13, so I was right there at the same age as the kids in the movie. So that's why it just
So good.
yeah.
So Something Wicked This Way comes. We'll just include all the Evil Deads except for the Fede Alvarez one. I hated that one.
Yeah, if it doesn't have Sam Raimi involved,
Yeah.
it's not.
Well, the one
yeah,
that just came out, Evil Dead Rise,
Yeah.
that one was actually pretty damn good.
Okay.
It was all made by over in Australia, Australian actors, Australian director, and it was really good.
All right.
That was yeah.
So
then,
we'll give them,
then what you guys
special
were talking,
mention.
yeah. Then your two, what you guys were talking about, they Stars a few years ago put out an Evil Dead show with Bruce Campbell, which was just great. I think it was 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah, and the dude, the fall guy, is his dad in the
Lee
movie.
Majors.
Lee
Majors is his dad in the show, and he's so great.
Yeah.
He is so awesome in that show. Yeah, if you, again, it's scary, it's violent, definitely not for kids, but yeah, check out that show.
Gory,
if you,
over the top humor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's everything Evil Dead. I mean, it fits
Yeah.
so well. It was like they went back to the well.
Yeah,
and
it's
it
him
was still
later in
there.
life. I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
he's in middle age, and he's
still a middle-aged loser.
Yeah,
You know, he's just-
It's kind of like Logan a little
Yeah.
bit.
yeah. But a lot more weed.
Yeah, definitely a lot more weed. All right, I got to hear Scott's because Scott,
What?
from what I remember, since we've known each other for a long time, you're not much of a horror fan.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I do like horror movies.
Oh, you do?
But I don't like overly grotesque horror movies.
Oh,
I
don't
like
say-
I like the ones that.
Don't see Terrifier then.
No, I like ones that just.
So like Psycho.
Hey, why don't you shut up and listen so I can tell you?
Jesus
I'm starting to tell you and you interrupt me. You know, this is what you're doing.
Okay, Rio Bravo is in a horror movie, so.
Well, that depends on your point of view.
Oh God. All right, what is the?
No, what I'm saying is I like ones that just scare the hell out of you. Like you guys remember in Kansas City they had that Friday Fright Night on every Friday.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the
yeah.
what was the woman?
Woman.
She was like Elvira. She was Kansas City's Elvira.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about Friday Fright
Yeah,
Night.
she hosted it.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
No, Friday Fright Night was the guy was talking good evening Fright fans, and it had the skull, and it would turn like this as it came.
There was a
on.
couple different ones. They had like Ed Muscari.
Yeah,
they
that's-
had All Night Live.
Yeah,
You know. And
yeah.
he'd
But
be
you
up
know
there
what I'm
and-
talking about, that
I know what
lady.
you're talking about. Yeah,
She was
she's like the
featured-
Elvira knockoff.
Yeah,
but
because
she
they had
was not bad.
they had a documentary about people that.
But that wasn't Friday Fright Night.
Oh, I thought it was.
Okay, why don't
My
you shut
heck.
up for 5
Man,
minutes and let me talk?
If you
okay?
look that up and I'm right, oh man, comment down in the comments there.
But I liked those because they showed a lot of the old Hammer movies with Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Oh,
Now, to me, that guy, I mean, when those movies were scary. I mean, you know. Plus, I like.
The Mask. Did
Huh?
you ever see that when we had to go to 7-Eleven and get the 3D glasses?
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the Hammer films back in the
Oh, the
the
Hammer.
50s. Christopher Lee.
But didn't they cut those a lot? I mean, because they
Not
had
really.
They had like
no, the Hammer films. I
they
don't
had
think,
boobies and violence and stuff in them.
Well, later on they showed more nudity, but I like my vampire rods to be, you know, like that. So
Lusty
Rods.
Vampire Brave.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, like I always thought that like
I was wondering why Peter Cushing kept wanting to do those.
Yeah, why do you think he kept coming back to that? That's why, like in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, if
Yeah.
I was Keanu Reeves, I would have never left the castle. I mean, it's nuts.
I'll tell you what, that's actually one of the ones I had down there was the Bram Stoker Dracula.
Yeah.
You know, because
I love
the
it.
Francis Ford Coppola one
Love it.
is as much as I hated the romance element to it because I was just like, no, that's not how it's supposed to. But at the same
Right.
time, the way that they did all the practical effects,
Yeah.
all
Mhm, yeah.
the film kind of trickery and all the things that they did that they would have done, you know, back in the black and white era, and just
It kind of went
in the
more.
plates, in the
It
you know,
followed the book more, didn't it? I mean, from
in a
remember when
lot
they
of ways.
bring
In a lot of ways.
bringing the baby out for
Right.
brings, you know, which I thought was creepy as hell.
I always
Um,
wondered why no one else had done that. Really,
Yeah, well, it's
because
so
yeah,
it's
well,
a little
Did
disturbing.
they have that part
yeah,
of
well,
the
it's
book?
very
though?
disturbing.
About
Oh
them?
yeah, the original book. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Because
in
the
the book.
original book wasn't that just a bunch of like letters and journal diaries, entries?
yeah, but they still
Yeah,
talk
but
about
they
when
tell a
she-
story though.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Because like in the movie, you'll hear, Keanu going, November 3rd.
You know, I'm glad
I know
he-
Kung
I'm
Fu.
glad he asked what my take was on this, and then he just takes over.
Actually, I took over subtly.
Boy, both of you are.
I think we heard
You guys are
enough.
talking
I
about
think we
almost
heard enough.
35 minutes now. And,
We heard enough
you know,
about you on the last
You and-
Oh,
episode.
is that what it is?
You and your hammer. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
All right. So, was there a particular Hammer movie that you liked?
I tell you, actually, the one that I really liked that didn't have Christopher Lee in it was called The Brides of Dracula. It was Peter Cushing and I forget the guy's name, but he's like a blonde.
The blonde guy.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that
it's
one's
the
actually-
best one.
Had blonde curly hair. You never saw a blonde curly haired vampire
And he
until
was,
this.
he
I don't
was
think I've seen one since.
creepy as hell because they got him chained up in this castle, right? And this girl, his mother's got him chained in there, and of course a traveling girl comes by, and he's like, "Let me out, let me out!" You know, they're crazy, you know, keeping me. And then as soon as she lets him out, you can see his whole demeanor change. I mean, his whole, mother. Come here, mother. You know what I mean? Because his mother's the one that he's a vampire, you know. You know, and he is just creepy. And then Peter Cushing chasing him throughout this movie is just great. I mean, he is
I'll have to
really.
watch it.
It
I'm
actually-
really shocked that they didn't have Christopher Lee play in that movie.
Yeah, but Peter Cushing did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on, it's really the most creative I've ever seen a vampire death.
Oh yeah.
It was a very creative
Spoilers.
thing.
What happened?
Well, I mean, it's a 50-year-old movie, right? We don't have to worry about spoilers. do we?
Right, it's made in 1960.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 60-something years? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Jeez.
No, because he's chasing him, and they're in it's like a windmill. Is it a windmill?
It's a windmill.
And so the sun has come up, and Dracula goes running out of the windmill. And basically, the way that the light is, it casts a shadow. And so Cushing, jumps up and grabs the windmill and, turns it to where the shadow forms a cross. And he's, stuck in the middle of the cross.
That's
So he's
awesome.
stuck in the cross, and then the sun surrounded him, and then he winds up kind of burning up. And but it was creative. It was
the
cool.
actor who played it was David Peel, the guy that plays as Dracula,
Okay.
or Baron Meinster, as they actually call him.
Did he play anything else that we knew? Maybe.
Not anything that I recognized that
Yeah, surprisingly, no.
Wow.
And then you had Frida Jackson. She always does that crazy laugh. He's loose. He's loose. And she does this laugh, and it's just she just nuts. You let him loose.
Oh god.
Yeah, and so that's probably my favorite of the Hammer movies. Other than that, and I liked Horror of Dracula, where Peter Cushing, where he jumps up and he does the cross, and then he jumps up and pulls the drapes down, and the light comes in, and Peter Cushing starts disintegrating, or Christopher Lee starts disintegrating. You remember where he runs on top of the table, and he runs over there and jumps up, and
Oh
You
yeah,
can't-
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
God, that's been a long time since I've seen those.
Well,
though.
they're so very well done. They're so creepy.
Mm.
I always like those types of movies. Not that I don't like some gore and stuff. I just don't like when it's just so much. It's just like, ugh.
Definitely don't go see Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see A Quiet Place? Did you ever watch
Yeah,
that?
I did. I thought
Because
that was good.
Not very gory, but that one was tense. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie and trying not to breathe loud. And I'm like, wow. Because when you catch yourself being so involved in the movie where you don't want to make any noise,
Right.
you know, that's when you know they got you hooked really, really well.
No, like I don't mind like the gore, like in The Thing. You know, the John Carpenter's The Thing.
Ooh,
You know, I mean,
yeah.
it serves a purpose. You know, some things, but I don't like when it's just grotesque. Like Kurt Russell made this western
Oh, Bone Tomahawk.
Tomahawk. And I
Yeah.
thought it was disgusting.
Yeah, I can't. That scene where they.
that scene where they split the dude.
Yeah.
It was so disgusting. I was like, "Ugh."
Great movie though, but it was just.
Yeah, it just ruined it with that. I mean, I understand.
Well, I enjoyed it, but I mean,
Well, of course you did.
well, because my jaw dropped. I didn't think they would show something like that, especially with Kurt Russell in it.
I know
mean,
that's what I was like, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that Bone Tomahawk?
No,
yeah.
it didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, don't.
No.
You know.
I like it. It opens up with Sid
But
Haig
like
and
John Carpenter's The Thing,
David
I always
Arquette.
thought that was a good remake. I can watch that over and over because it's the. I was watching a documentary on it the other day, and they were talking about. Well, actually, Tarantino was talking about it.
Oh wow.
How it makes you paranoid.
Yeah.
You become paranoid through the whole movie with these guys. That's what's running amok because they can't trust each other. You know, nobody knows who the thing is, and it's this paranoia
Yeah. So
thing that goes on. And
plus
so,
they weren't just paranoid with each other; they were paranoid of the cannibal, tribe, that they're going after.
who?
The whole team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said cannibal.
Oh, no.
Tribe.
Well, the tribes that they're going after to get the girl back they were
What?
cannibals.
Oh, I think you're confusing Bone Tomahawk and the Thing.
In The Thing.
We're talking about The Thing.
Oh, I
now.
thought you talk about Bone Tomahawk.
No, this is The Thing. Now.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Let's pay attention.
Yeah.
Let's pay attention.
It's the same thing.
Let's pay attention, okay? When
All
we're
right.
doing this.
Well, you know what?
we're talking about.
I know how
Hello,
much Scott's
McFly?
a wuss
Are
about
you
watching
home,
Little
McFly?
Blood.
Are you home?
You make like a tree.
I was like, what girl's in The Thing? They weren't you?
Yeah, well, I was kind of like,
now,
what?
all right,
did I
now,
fall asleep during the cannibal
all
scene?
right,
yeah.
Oh, so the thing can't be a girl?
No.
Well, it can
The
be
Thing
whatever it wants.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, there's
It
no.
could be president.
No women
One of those
in The
dogs
Thing.
could have been a
Could have
girl.
grown up to be
Well,
a husky. Whatever you want to be, you
could've
can
been.
be. No, but
All
the
right.
thing was really, really good. And the
Yeah.
special effects for the time, they still hold up. I mean, to this day, you watch The Thing, and that is
Yeah.
a scary flick.
Yeah.
Like, when that guy's head falls off and then sprouts those spider legs,
Oh, yeah.
starts running across the floor, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. You know, it's like, I'm checking out now. If
I thought it would be
if
the
I ever
guy's
saw
arms.
something like that, oh, my God.
And you remember Wilford Brimley when they first take him out to the shed, you know, and he looks at Kurt Russell, he's like, I don't know who to trust. And Kurt Russell's like, trust is hard to come by, you know, and trust in the Lord, you know, blah, blah, blah. The next time they come out there, he's like, I'm much better now. Let me out. I just, you can tell the dude is the thing
Yeah.
now. He has
Oh, yeah.
totally turned, and he's like a crocodile trying to get them to release him so he can bite them. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
And so I was like, I just thought that was brilliant the way they did that with his whole character just turning totally,
wow.
you know.
That was awesome.
That is a good one.
Well, all right, let's do one more.
Oh, well, I was going to say, it's,
We could be here all night.
well, that is kind of the plan.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, I would say as far as the, all right. So we're talking about gory versus non-gory. There's one gory film that to me is just hilarious, and I absolutely love it, and that's A Cabin in the Woods. The
Oh, yeah.
because
That was good.
and who is that? I forgot his name.
Oh, the Thor guy.
No,
Oh.
the director.
Joss Whedon?
Josh Whedon. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Josh Whedon, I don't know what happened. Man went off the deep end. But at one point in time, the man could write some characters,
Oh, yeah.
and he had that whole thing down. And Cabin in the Woods, the gory hillbilly zombies, the whole bit, like the horror aspect was scary.
Mhm.
When at the end of the movie, when everything gets released and there's just like blood is going everywhere and everyone is just dying left and right. but it's so over the top, it's hilarious. You know, but it's at the same time, it's such a play on the genre. It was such a great take on the film history of horror films and how they just tied it all in together.
Yeah.
Loved it. Very subversive before subversive was a thing. You know, like now it's like, oh, we're going to subvert your expectations. It's like I showed somebody that I go, you want to see 5 minutes of one of the best horror movies ever? And they're like, oh, yeah. Pull it up on YouTube. It's just the guys in the office talking and giving each other crap and talking about
when
like,
they're doing the pool.
Yeah, they're talking. Yeah, not even to the pool yet. They're just talking about the latches. Like they have baby latches on the drawers and they can't get them open. And then it's just like cabin in the woods. You know, there's like this big thing across there and this scary music. But it was just so well executed and so well done, and the acting is top notch. So,